How's it going, guys? Nerf Gun Charlie here, and I know I'm breaking my rules a little bit here because typically I give you the before I record what I've done, and I forgot to do that. Um, yeah, I forgot to record a before to show you guys what the Klingons look like beforehand, and I was going to use even stock footage, and then, well, can't find stock footage on YouTube where people playing this mod have recorded the Klingons. They've done the Federation, they've done the Rebels, and there's been one that I've seen for the Imperials, but none for the Klingons. So, we're just going to jump right into it. And I do know there's a couple of graphical glitches. This is just a color modification of their UI that they had done initially for Star Trek vs. Star Wars, and I just wanted to update the colors, make it a little bit more bold. But, as you see the AI going crazy, so we're going with just what just fired. Get out of here. Ow! So some of the lighting stations are from like Star Trek, or my Millennium Project remaster. Just modified. Did not know that they fired twin cannons. That's nuts. Okay, so we're still using the same wireframes. I kept their build buttons for the orders. Their order buttons are actually very solid that they created, and I didn't see a point to change them. I actually like the style of these order buttons, so these stayed. If you'll notice, I brought forward. Let me bring up a command vessel. I brought up. This is the style of the special weapons from Millennium Project, and then what I've done is Majestic gave me. He's a good friend of mine on Discord, and I frequent his website quite often for mods and such. He gave me this template for the build buttons. So I went ahead and I redid every build button, and it's now this template for build buttons. What is firing? I gotta mess with that range. Good grief. Anyway. We've updated all the wireframes. Y'all are not gonna win. Like, y'all are just gonna lose here. So we've updated them, you know, brought in some models like this Katinga. I've used it more than once here. We've changed out the cavort. That way you can tell the difference between a Burrell and a cavort. And, you know, that way it's very easy. Like, you've got your cavort here versus your Burrell. Your Vorch, and I wanted to make it that much larger, just because, yeah. And I know there's some sizing here, but like I said, we're not going for scale accurate. Like, I might shrink down the Katinga slightly, but we're not going for scale accurate kind of deal. So you still got your fighters, you still got everything that you would normally have on this race. It's just updated. Let's let them attack. And quite honestly, let me distract him for a moment. Let me get two of the fighters in here. Alright, that should distract him for a few minutes. So you saw some of the new weapon textures that we did, the turret textures, you know, new Negvar. Now their Dreadnought, I was not fond of. It's not necessarily the model, but the texturing, and I really didn't want to have to redo it from scratch, or have someone that's a lot better than me at ship textures redo it from scratch. So I just went ahead. I brought in what I know as the Divine Right class. I've named it the Kavang, and this is going to be your Mega Dreadnought for the Klingons. But we've gone ahead and we've gotten all of this updated. It's very crispy. Here's your new heavy weapons platform. I just need to shrink that name down. You even have these as your constructors. And one of the things I'm doing because I have this flexibility for the UIs and everything, each one's going to have its own unique tractor beam and tractor beam button. So Federation wouldn't look different, Klingons are going to look different. If we decide to do a tractor beam for Imperials and Rebels, they'll have their own tractor beam model. Or if we want to do something similar to the Qapla, like an Enterprise, we can do that. And research buttons, I pretty much, as you can see, I've researched everything already. Which you just thank you. They pretty much are the same as your order buttons and everything. I updated a couple of these just because the texture did not look good in it, but the framework is still the same. So the research buttons are looking pretty good. And, you know, like I said, order buttons are nice here. You know, very simplistic. So this is what we're looking at. This is your Klingon update. We've got multiple types of fighters, your heavy attack fighter, your light attack fighter, and your scout. And to me it feels like they're more for fighting, doing fighter combat against the Rebels or Imperials. Federation's got more just starships. They got their Peregrine and their shuttle, but they're more starship oriented. Klingons can get very fighter oriented with their Borels, their 3 different types of scout fighters, and some of their smaller birds of prey, without really having to get too involved in here. That's pretty much this entire wing right here. And then once I get the Katingas down, that'll be more of a light cruiser size, I guess. So, you know, everything is looking good. Everything, I haven't missed anything. Let's see. That's the only thing I haven't built yet, is this. So as you can see, the torpedoes. They really think they have a chance. The good thing about this AI is it's going to be challenging to beat, and I'm not messing with their AI whatsoever. I'm going to leave it this way. Like I said, I'm just going to resize this so that the Katinga is a little bit smaller. Mess with the range of the ion cannons, and maybe make them a little bit faster, since these are auto-firing ion cannons. And then, yeah, that's about it. Wireframes are in place. That's the only update we've got. So, yeah. We are already done with the Klingons. You can see they are going to war with me right now. But that's the only update we've got, because we're done. So next video is Rebels. Now, what I'm going to have to do with the Rebels and the Imperials, like I was discussing earlier in a previous video, I'm probably going to record how they initially look, then do an update video, and then their finale, so it's going to be multiple videos, just because they are going to be a lot of work. So stay tuned, and until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and this is Nerf Gun Charlie, signing off.